It's American Angel right here on your Classic Metal Show with After the Laughter, and that's exactly what everybody will be doing after the show's over. They're going to wonder, what the fuck are we going to do after the laughter? And a guy who brings a lot of the laughter to the table is my good friend and partner, Chris Aiken. What's going on, Chris?
Gee, I thought we were going to do Rock Block Saturday tonight.
Yeah,
Jeez.
You know what? I'm going to tell you how this worked.
All right.
I interviewed Doro today.
Ooh.
Yeah. And she was in Czechoslovakia.
Okay.
So I was asked to add a Skype contact to talk to her.
Right.
And I did that. But once I did that, it just fucked up my machine.
Right.
And so I'm trying to get, I got the machine, the computer is like brand new.
Right.
And it hardly has anything on it. No apps, no, it's got like a 2 terabyte hard drive on it.
Right.
16 gig memory, all this. But that thing just slowed that computer down to a crawl.
Jeez.
I don't know what happened to it. I don't know why. But I was just trying to get this stupid thing to delete that contact.
Right. Was it that web address contact?
Yes, it was. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, it's like, just do it the normal way, for fuck's sake. Give her a name, Nuclear Blast 1, and give her a login, and then you sign in, and then she signs in and uses it. What the fuck?
Right. Well, whatever that was, it just played hell on my machine. Everything was just latent. I would click on something, and it wouldn't react for about 30 seconds.
Right.
So it took a while, and then I had to reboot the machine, and it wouldn't come back up, and
Sure.
It's just a mess. So now, and once I finally got that contact off of there, it just started running like it normally does.
Yeah, like a machine that has 16 gigs of RAM and 2 terabyte hard drive.
It does. It does. It's like I would have never guessed that a Skype contact would have just bogged your machine down to where it wouldn't run.
It probably has some fucking process in it that by going to that website, it has some piece of JavaScript that was just killing your fucking machine.
Yeah, well, whatever it was killing it.
Well, now you're back. Sounds good. Actually,
Yeah.
I'm not echoey or nothing. This sounds real good.
Yeah. So anyway, are you using the new headphones, my friend?
I am. I have them on my big cranium right now.
Yeah, it's so funny. I just mentioned that last week during the show in passing because I was using them for the first time, and I thought, I'm just going to bring it up and let people kind of get a little insider view as to what goes on here in the CMS. And
Sure.
I must have got a half a dozen. What are those called again? Where do I get those? What
should have told them some lie.
Yeah, well, I even saw it on the YouTube comments. What was the name of that again, fellas? What's the name of the headphones?
Should have found some real shitty brand.
No, I threw the link up there, but I said I'd send you a pair, and you got some this week. So your assessment, my friend.
You know what? Headphones for me are like shoes. I like them, and they're definitely clean as fuck. They're not as loud as the ones that I had before.
And they're very light.
They are, but at the same time, they also grip my head like a goddamn vice.
Yeah, well, they'll break in, though.
Oh, that's what I meant by they're like shoes.
Yeah.
You have to kind of wear them for a little bit and then wear something else. And, because like my ears are already hurting from these things fucking squeezing my fat head. But I'm going to wear them. I'll probably wear them for about half the show tonight, and then I'll switch to the others. It's going to take me a few episodes to get used to. I'll say one thing, though. I keep forgetting they're on.
Yeah.
Those other ones were heavy. Those other ones are definitely heavy headphones, and these don't even feel like they're on your head.
Yeah, and they have a great sound.
Oh, they do have a great sound. Yeah, they work well. I have no complaints. Easy to set up. Plug, done.
Yeah. So
yeah,
and I like the fact that it's got the interchangeable lead.
Yeah. I was messing around with that. I'm not sure why that would be, but that's okay. Could you just turn the headphones the other way?
Well, you could, but there's a right side and a left side.
Oh, well, I'm not that sophisticated. I just throw them up my fucking head.
Maybe you got them on backwards. That's why they're squeezing your head.
Could well be. I don't know. But
you might turn them around and then change the lead side.
Yeah, I'll turn it around and be like, oh, this is great.
Yeah, now it feels great.
This is perfect.
Yeah.
It's like wearing my left shoe on my right foot.
Exactly. That's exactly what it'd be like. I like all the shoe analogies.
Right, exactly. Well, that's it. You know, me, the classic shoe show, as I tend to call it.
Right, exactly. Well, how about that? We're two weeks, back to back shows.
How about that, huh?
Yeah, I know. I saw you put a little post out there saying, "Can you believe it? Two shows in a row."
I'm glad it actually happened because I wrote that like a week in advance.
Very nice. Very nice. Well, last week I went through and obviously I cut the show up.
Sure.
And seems to be a lot of chatter with each segment that was posted this week. I noticed probably more YouTube comments this week, specifically on all of the segments.
Yeah, there's a lot of people saying Neeley for president.
Yeah, I saw that.
And then there was a couple guys that said Neeley's an asshole.
Yeah, well, that's okay, too.
And, of course, there was people saying that I'm an asshole. No good ones for me this week. I must just suck this week.
No, I saw a few there that Chris is really funny, and I agree with Chris's assessment, and, on the one with the machete girl.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I agree with Chris's assessment on that. I think that's how it happened, and I saw a couple comments on me. I have to, and like you, sometimes I have to go back. It's such the most, what do you want to call, minuscule nuances or things that might just slip out of your mouth and that you don't even realize it. I saw one that was highlighted this week. I don't want to sound faggy. That's all that was written.
Right. Yeah, I hate when they do that because then you got to listen to the whole 40 minutes to find the fucking.
What was the context there?
Yeah, it's like, come on, guys. I'm all for the comments, but if you're going to comment, at least tell us what it's in reference to.
Yeah, that's pretty funny though.
Yeah.
But apparently the show did well last week, or as far as the segments were concerned.
Sure, yeah, it seemed to go good. I was definitely ready to be done last week. I think I'll be better this week.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, I could tell you were running out of gas there at the end.
Oh, it was because my back was popping out of the fucking skin. But tonight it feels good. Tonight there's no pain, so I'm good.
So far, so good. No pain.
Yep, so far.
All right. Well, that's good to know.
Yep. So we'll see how it goes, but and I'm drinking water. No beers tonight.
Wow. Really? No beers tonight?
I might start though, because this office is about 640,000 degrees tonight. I mean, my shirt is soaking wet.
Why don't you spring for an air conditioner?
Because it's not about buying an air conditioner. It's about, to do that, I'll have to fucking replace a window.
Why?
Because these windows, they're these sidewinder sliding hunks of shit. None of them are insulated, and it's. I mean, if next time you're here, look at these windows. They're very, very thin. They load side to side. So I would literally have to build a box or something to put it in the window.
Okay.
And even the portables, I still got to put something to vent. So even to vent it, I would still have to build a contraption for the window.
Right.
It's just for me being in here one day a week. I did buy, and I know you can't hear it because it's the ultra quiet. I don't know what this thing is called, but it ain't doing dick. It's the quiet set fan. And this thing is like 4 foot tall, and it's right now I have it on high, and I'm touching it with my hand. That's how close it is.
Mm-hmm.
You can't hear it at all, right?
No, not at all.
And you know what that means? It's not doing anything. Look, I'll put the mic right up next to it, and you can hear. This is full blast. Can you hear it?
No.
That's full fucking blast.
Yeah, it doesn't even create a wind in your mic.
It's like I feel, you know when it's really hot outside and you're like on a beach or something, and you get that just 1 second waft of like 1 degree cooler air.
Yeah.
And you almost want to just kind of reach up and grab it and hold it, because you don't want it to go away. That's what this dumbass fan is doing. It's like, it's like blowing the sweat around on my fucking fat body.
It's a sweat blower.
It really is. But you know what? A sweat blower would be good if it actually dried it off or cooled me down a little bit. This thing is like, this is like a chick with a broken jaw giving you head. It's just not working very well.
Not much friction going on there.
Not much friction, and certainly not a lot of push. Oh my goodness. This thing is, I spent like $79 for this fucking thing.
Man. Well, somebody has been chomping at the bit to talk to us, and they've been calling since the show even began.
I'm sure it's Tim James, but go ahead.
All right. Hail and kill, caller. You're on the air.
It's not Tim James, man. I only called one time, but I'm glad to be on, and I have 3 things that I'd like to ask you guys.
All right. Well, who are you, and where are you calling from?
Philip, Lakeland, Florida.
Okay. What's going on in Florida aside from all the fucked upness that usually goes on in Florida?
Aside from the courts?
Yeah, well, whatever goes on down there, the
rain. All you have is criminals getting off in courts and rain. That's all we have down here in Florida.
That's right. It's the mongrel state. So what's on your mind tonight?
All right, so I got 3 different things that I was wondering if you guys can do on your show sometime.
Okay.
And I was in the chat room earlier. First thing would be for you and Chris to have your 3 top 3 dicks. Rock stars that were rude to you guys. They can't be the same. So you got Neeley, you got to pick your 3. Chris has to pick your 3, and then you guys have to tell the stories why they were dicks to you.
But
Second thing you guys
wait a minute. But my 3 cannot be the same as Neely's 3.
Correct. They have to be different.
Wow. Well, that eliminates who do you want? Neeley, who do you want? Bret Michaels or Vince Neil? Because I know you're taking one and I'm taking the other.
Well, I can't say that Bret has been a dick to me. I can't say that. Can't say that.
I'll take Bret.
All right, I'll take Vince. I will take Blackie Lawless, and I will take Dave Mustaine.
But you have to tell the stories, though, too.
Well, we'll tell the stories, but we're trying to lay out who gets who.
I got to say,
okay, I get it. I'm sorry.
So I'm taking Bret, Nikki Sixx, and I really haven't had that many that have been that dicky to me, really.
How about Bruce
Chris,
Kulick?
You got to have more than 2.
Yeah, well, Bruce Kulick was kind of a dick. Yeah, that is true. He was dicky.
What?
But he was definitely a dick the night in question that I met him.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
The first time, but he's since redeemed himself. But yeah, all right, we can do that. We'll put that together.
All right. Suggestion number.
Second one.
Go ahead.
Suggestion number 2. We need a Eddie Trunk makeover. He's looked the same for 10 years. He's ugly. He wears the same T-shirts, the same jeans, and the same short hair that's curled to the side. That wavy, like 1983, 84's look. So I'm asking for the CMS fans in the chat room to put together pics on a brand new Eddie Trunk make look. And you guys, they can post it to your page. You guys can announce it on your show sometime. They can make Eddie up, make Eddie look like what he should be today. And that would be very, very, very entertaining.
Vetoed. Next one.
Vetoed.
Yeah, Judge Aiken has spoken.
Yeah, that's vetoed.
Oh, my God. Okay, so Judge Aiken, since you vetoed that, this next one's for you.
All right.
You guys should dedicate 1 hour on your next show, or maybe the following show, where it's you versus Neeley. And it's kind of like a Jeopardy. Fans call in, they'll ask you and Neeley a question, and then we tally who can get it right. It's all got to be rock and roll questions. So
that's like Stump the
Trunk. Melodic rock, hard rock. Huh?
That's like Stump the Trunk, though.
Yeah, but it's me versus you.
I never called it that. You called it that.
Yeah.
I called it like a Jeopardy thing.
Yeah.
We can come up with a different name, but it's you. But when you stump the Trump, though, isn't it always just Trump?
No, it is. It's just Eddie, but I mean, it's a similar premise, though.
Well, I think it would be better for somebody to call in for you guys to answer the question. It's not like a stump the Trump, like you always say, is like on his show, he always gives a gift and 3 people answer a question. I'm saying an hour, you get 6 to 10 fans call in, and it's kind of like a Jeopardy. You two are on the hot wire, and a fan calls in and asks a question. You guys got to hit a buzzer and answer the fucking question.
You know what? And I
mean, is that different? Or is that the same? I don't know.
I like it. And you know what else I think we should probably do is maybe at the top of each hour, we should give the weather in a certain city.
I get it. I guess that sounds stupid to you guys. I thought it would be cool just to listen to you guys one night on a Saturday night for an hour or two, just answering questions from fans and seeing who knows what without using your keyboards. You can't use the internet. You can't use YouTube. You can't use anything. Just fans calling in, asking you guys obscure questions and see who can come up with the most, who's the smartest between Neeley and Chris. But anyway, my bad. But do you guys at least like the first request?
Yeah, I'm okay with the first one.
Okay.
Well, thanks
All right, well, thank you guys.
Well, thanks for programming the show. I'm sorry the show is inadequate as it is.
No, it's not, man. I mean, it's just something I never heard before, so I just calling in to give you guys a suggestion.
All right. Well, suggestion noted.
Yeah.
All right, maybe you guys can do the first one. The top three, you guys can't pick the certain ones, and then you guys can tell the stories behind it.
All right, we got it. All right, hail and kill.
All right, guys, thank you so much for taking my call, man. You guys have a great weekend.
All right. Hey, maybe we could do some stories about the Confederate flag, too.
So good. Maybe I could give traffic on the 8s.
Yeah, that'd be great. And you could do a different city each time. Like I could do, hey, right now in St. Petersburg, it's 82 degrees. Neeley, what's the traffic like in Dallas right now?
Hail and kill, caller. You're on the air.
Hail and kill, boys. It is Tim James.
All right, Tim James. We've just been waiting for your call. The show would not be complete without your call.
I'm sure you're waiting for my call. You guys have got better things to do.
All right. So instead of wasting our time, why don't you make your call worthwhile?
Yeah, let's go.
All right. Now, I wanted to ask you, look, you might want to not go through this. I don't know. But I wanted to, it was something that Chris was talking about last week.
Okay.
Right? When Chris was talking about the fact that, he is an employer, and you guys were talking about the fact that these idiots, you know, if you've got somebody who's an idiot, and you know they're employed by you, and they have to go to court, or that you have to pay their health care because they do something stupid like they're a meth addict or something like that. Mm-hmm. And I was just thinking, I think the reason why that happens, and I want you guys to explain this to me, but I think from an Australian perspective, I think the reason why that things like that happen, and I don't believe that employers should pay for employees' stuff-ups either, right? But I think the reason why that happens, and I'm convinced that the American health system's fucked.
I'm convinced of that too.
Like you said, we've had this discussion before, Chris, and you said to me that there's health care for those that can't really afford it. Mm-hmm. But I mean, for example, if I lived in the...
All right, thanks for calling, Tim. Jeez.
I didn't even have to type it.
Oh my God. Tim, you're going to have to structure your questions a little bit quicker.
You know what Tim trying to make a point is like? You know when a clown starts pulling the handkerchiefs and they just keep coming?
Right.
But they never quite get to
It's like, where does this end?
That's Tim asking a question. Just...
I don't mind taking your calls and answering your questions, Tim, but man, you gotta get with the program here.
Yeah, write them down. Write it down and just read it.
And stop being so sure that we're going to veto you. Well, I'm going to ask you about. You probably won't, but I'm going to ask, and you probably will think that. Don't think what we are going to think.
Yeah,
we'll tell you what we think once you get the question out.
Exactly. Tim.
Wow.
All right. So what's going on?
That was compelling.
That was good.
First of all, we've got a rogue programmer out there who wants to program our show. Then we got Tim asking about healthcare problems here in the U.S.
All right, we're off and running.
This is what's on people's minds tonight.
It's making me more glad than ever that you had to play an extra half hour of music. Didn't have to hear this shit.
All right. Well, again, I don't mind taking calls, but get to the point.
Yeah.
Get to it.
Look at you being the angry one tonight.
Yeah,
not me.
well, when I face testicle difficulties here in the studio, it gets me fired up.
Oh, I'm sure. But look, even me, you have to admit, because usually I'm up your ass like if we're like 1 second late.
Yeah.
I didn't bug you at all.
No, you didn't.
I was just like, hey, whatever. You said, hey, this is what's going on. I was like, all right, okay, good to go.
Yeah.
I'm in a good mood tonight.
Well,
so.
we can thank Doro's management for that.
Yeah, no shit.
You fucked up my computer.
Yeah, Doro.
Not Doro, her management.
Yeah, Doro management. I'm not going to say anything.
Yeah. All right. The Eddie Trunk photos have already started.
Is that Carrot Trump?
Yeah, Carrot Trunk.
Trunk.
Yeah. Hail and kill, caller. You're on the air.
Okay, well, what do you guys think should happen to your health system?
Oh, Jesus.
Sam, are we back on this already?
Well, you told me to get to the point.
What is specifically are you asking? What are you asking?
How we would fix healthcare?
Yeah, I think if there was better healthcare, then you wouldn't have these problems.
Well, Tim, employers here, not the smaller employers, they're not required to give health care.
That ain't true.
Right.
The smaller ones.
All right.
Yeah.
Do you provide health care for the pinball guys?
No, but I don't employ them either. They're contractors.
Well, but again, I think if you employ under 10 people, I don't think you're required to give health care.
Yeah, you're not really, but you're not going to get.
But regardless of that, what is your specific question, Tim?
Well, is there enough health care for people that are, low income?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, we don't have to pay. If we're on low income, we don't have to pay for health care.
Okay. Same here.
But why do you guys talk about,
I can't wade through this. I'm sorry.
Phones are off.
I can't take it. It's just like I can't take it. This isn't about the health. This isn't the healthcare show. I'm sorry. I mean, we vent about things from week to week. We don't have the solutions. We just know what happens to our lives and we move on.
Right. Did you turn the phone off now?
Yeah, I turned it off. It's enough.
Phones are done. Thank you for playing.
Yeah, exactly.
Nice.
All right. Well, you sent me a message today. Some people have been asking. I noticed some comments. People have been asking me, when are you guys going to be able to play licensed music? Well, you sent me a note.
Don't even read the note.
Well, I'm not reading it.
Okay, go ahead.
I'm just saying that's delayed until Labor Day.
No.
It's not delayed till Labor Day.
That has changed yet again within the last 30 minutes.
All right. Well, all right. Can you shed any light on it at all?
Within the last 30 minutes, I was involved that next week we can play licensed music.
Okay.
We can, but his station will not go live until, not live officially, like 24/7, until Labor Day.
All right.
But our show, we're going to be kind of like the pilot, I guess.
Okay.
And I'm like, okay, that's fine. That's as of a half hour ago.
All right, well, fine. But I just kind of wanted to give the fans a little bit of an update.
Yeah. It's a work in progress, to say the absolute least. It's coming together. I'm not as involved as maybe people think I am with this, other than I do help Corey with some tech stuff and whatnot. But this is really Corey and Hairball John's baby. I certainly am. I'm more like an advisor than I am, involved.
That's how Vietnam started.
Well, that's fine.
We just started sending in advisors, and then it got into a full-scale war.
Believe me, the way this thing has been changing back and forth, it feels a little Vietnamish. feels like I have everything in order, and then I just get torpedoed by some fucking gooks.
Right.
Like, what the hell?
Did you say gook?
I did.
Oh, I'm going to have to distance myself from this.
That's fine. Look at me. I stand by every bit of your nigger hating, and you can't stand by my gook hating? Jesus. What is this?
Look at that. Evil Knievel is jumping over photos of me.
He's jumping Neelys.
He is. I wonder what the record for that is.
That's probably that Travis Pastrana.
No, well, it looks like Evil.
That's Evil.
That's from the 70s.
I don't know. From that picture there, it looks like he's going to hit that van on the end.
Yeah.
That doesn't look like a successful jump to me.
No. But he's still on an upward trajectory at that point, so we're good.
Well, that's good.
Well, speaking of that, we did cover a little bit of that last week. I did watch the Pastrana jump.
Uh-huh.
Very underwhelming.
Yeah, it was just, okay, big deal. He hit it by like 100 feet.
Yeah, well, my prediction came true. I predicted at the end of that segment, I said he'll make all three jumps successfully. It won't be a big issue.
Yeah.
You know, and it wasn't. It was like, okay, yeah, you got a powerful bike. You got this major-ass, wide-ass ramp
right
on both ends. You know, it'd be almost impossible not to make it.
Yeah. I mean, he's a professional stuntman, for fuck's sake.
That is true. And I noticed that due to the construction over there at Caesar's Palace, that he jumped the opposite direction.
Right.
Of Evil and Robbie.
Mm-hmm.
When Robbie jumped it back in '89, he had to maneuver his bike into the parking deck garage that was built there since Evil jumped it.
Right.
But Pastrana went the other direction, where he basically had an open parking lot the other way.
Sure.
So I didn't see anything that spectacular. I appreciate the tribute.
Yeah.
But did I find it exciting at all? Nah, not in the least. Nothing compares to what it was like 45 plus years ago when Evil was doing it by the seat of his pants with an American Eagle bike or a Harley or a Triumph, whatever he was riding at that point. Nothing the same.
Yeah, the only thing that was cool in my mind it's great. He jumped some shit. Okay. But the only thing that I really kind of enjoyed, and it was not like a featured thing as much as it's just kind of a cool thing, is that many people went out and saw it, because that was old school and kind of cool.
Yeah, I agree.
That a bunch of people went out to support that kind of a thing, because maybe we could bring some of that shit back. That would be cool. Have him jump, I don't know, jump over the fucking Taj or whatever. Let's see that. Let's see him jump over one of the casinos, like the whole casino. That if he's going to challenge himself.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, but if you look back, and the only difference between what he did last week
mm-hmm.
and what any other what's the guy's name? Robbie Madison.
I don't know.
I think he's an English guy, and of course Robbie Knievel.
Yeah.
Is that he used more of like a street style or track style bike rather than a dirt bike.
Yeah, but even that he was cheating with the fucking blowers on it to keep it cool and everything. I mean, he was cheating. Evil just fucking grabbed a bike from anywhere and was like, all right, let's jump this shit.
Exactly. Evil's bike weighed like 1,000 pounds.
Yeah. Meanwhile, he's using a 350-pound bike.
Yeah.
So, yeah. I mean, and let's be honest, Travis Pastrana wasn't fucked up. You gotta give that as points to Evil. Evil got on that bike hammered.
He did.
He would get on the bike hammered and still jump this shit. That was fucking tight.
Hey, drink some wild turkey and make the jump.
I'm sure his last move before getting out of his trailer was to take a belt.
He did.
I think
he did. Well, Robbie talked about it. He said he would take a shot of wild turkey to calm his nerves before he'd even go out there.
Right, or probably had some whore in there sucking his dick. He blew a load, took a shot, and got on the bike.
Nice.
That way he was all mellowed out and ready.
Yeah.
I mean, if you were Evil Knievel, wouldn't that be you? Get some fucking whore from one of the hotels to come suck your cock, and all right, now I'm loose. Let's go.
Well, on his documentaries, the one that they showed on the History Channel,
right?
He talked about his addiction with, banging 4 and 5 chicks a day.
Right. So you don't think he's going to waste his fucking time on a jump, do you?
No.
No.
And not only that, but he would often jump injured.
Of course.
He would have crashed, maybe a few days before or a week or so before and had surgery where he had what he called internal casts.
Yeah.
Basically steel plates screwed to his bones to keep his bones together.
Jesus Christ. Then he gets in the trailer and jumps the double Fs.
There you go. So, yeah, I appreciate the tribute to Evil last week, but it's not the same.
Yeah. Yeah, it was all right, I guess. I mean, I watched it. I have no need to go back to YouTube to see it again.
Nope.
Oh, Travis Pastrana will go back to being a name I won't remember in a week or two.
True.
So unless he does something, he's got to do something. See, that's Evil raised the game. You can't just do what Evil did. You got to raise the game. If if Travis Pastrana wants to do something, he's got to jump like a busy freeway or something. Something where if he doesn't land right, he just gets murdered by a fucking dump truck or something. That's what he needs to do.
Yeah, well, Robbie jumped a speeding train. He basically came at a speeding train and jumped over it just before the train hit his jump ramp.
See, now that I'd like to see. I'd like to see him jump and have the speeding train and have him land on top of the speeding train and then jump off the back end of the speeding train and have another train coming up on him.
There you go.
Now we're talking.
Yeah.
I'd watch that. I'd do pay-per-view. Would you pay-per-view that?
Of course, if that was actually what was going to happen.
Yeah. I think anymore with today's society, if he's not doing something that could end up killing him, then it's just not even worth watching.
I agree. I mean, it's been there, done that already.
Yeah. How about this? Jump one of those things that like shreds cars or something, so that if you don't make it, you end up in the shredder.
There you go. Just
get cut all to shit. Now that would be worth watching. You know that thing that like crunches refrigerators.
Yeah.
And shit?
Mm-hmm. That's a pulverizer.
Build a giant one of those, like 300 feet down the way, and if he can't get over it, well, then he dies. Now we're talking something that's worth watching.
Yeah.
And even if he died, all the screaming and stuff and the blood squirting out, that fucking rock. I'd watch that on repeat.
There you go.
Better believe it.
See, Jackal One says jump a great white. Evil did that.
So did Fonzie.
Yeah, but that was one of Evil's last jumps. I think that was what caused him to retire, was that he miscued and he was jumping a shark tank here in Chicago.
Yeah.
And he went off the ramp and he hit a TV camera guy.
Look, I want him to jump like a lion's den at a zoo, but have him not feed the lions for like a week and a half. So that if he jumps and he doesn't make it, well, good night. He's just going to get fucking eaten. That would be solid. That would be worth... Wouldn't you pay-per-view that?
Of course.
Anything that he could be killed from, I would watch. Anything that's, all right, you're jumping some buses. Big fucking deal. The bar's been passed on that, pal.
Exactly.
That's over. Do something that's worth a shit. Now, if he would have done that same jump that he did the other day, but did a backflip off the ramp, now that would have been worth seeing.
Yeah.
Because he potentially could land on his fucking head. That would have made it better, don't you think?
I would agree. And the contrast between what he did last week and, what Evil did, especially in the same jumps that he made, was, Evil jumped the stacked 52 cars. He did that at the LA Coliseum. But in order to give him enough speed, they had to build these ski jump ramps up into the seating to give him enough room to, get a in run.
Right.
To get enough speed to get over that thing, because he was riding 1,000-pound Harley.
Right.
And this guy here, he's just running across the parking lot and jumping them. And then the same thing with the 13 buses that Evil crashed on at the Wembley Stadium. He had a big ski jump ramp built up into the seating area to where it was supposed to give him enough speed to get over the 13 buses, but he hit the last one and he crashed. But Then he turned around and jumped 14 buses at Kings Island a year later.
What's the number now that's like of buses? 15?
Well, whatever Pastrana jumped last week, was it 16?
Whatever it is. So here's what I say we do. We measure that space for 20 buses, and you fill it with people.
Okay.
And now let's see what happens. He's got to jump, but he's got to jump live people.
Right.
And if he doesn't make it, then he slaughters a bunch of people.
Right.
On the way down. Now, that would be worth watching.
Yeah, so you corral a bunch of people into the space of the buses.
Right. And what you do is you give them money, like, by where they stand. So let's say that you're standing, like, right next to the jump ramp.
You get very little to nothing. Yeah,
you get like $10. But if you're standing on the, right before the end ramp, you get like $1 million. So, and then you prorate it all the way across.
Right.
And, anybody that gets killed, their family gets paid out that money. That would be worth it. Or if he makes it, then they get paid because they stood in. Now, wouldn't that be a good pay-per-view?
That would.
That would be an excellent. And then instead of all the bullshit that they were doing trying to fill 3 hours, all they got to do is send stupid Matt Eisman down there with a microphone and say, "Hey, why are you fucking standing down here for $500,000 when you're going to get hit in the face by a fucking bike?" That would be. And here them talking about how scared they are and shit. Some of them crying. Some of them crying because their mother's making them stand there because they're fucking butt ass poor. Mom's too chicken to do it herself, so she's making her kids stand out there. Figuring out who the youngest one is out there. There's somebody put their 5-year-old out there on the fucking launch line. That would be the shit.
Yeah.
I would watch that all day long.
Jimmy James in the chat room has a suggestion. Jump the trunk.
Jump the trunk?
Yeah.
Yeah, there you go. For as bad as Eddie takes a beating from us,
yes,
I will say he turned me on to an awesome record this week.
And what would that be?
New Dizzy Reed.
Oh, yeah?
That is a fucking amazingly good record.
Wow.
He was interviewing Dizzy, and he went on and on in his intro. And to be fair to Eddie, he doesn't normally do that. He doesn't normally gush over anybody's releases unless it's UFO. So he just was like, this is one of the best records, and Dizzy sounds great, and these could be Guns N' Roses songs. And he really sold it. So I pulled it up on Google Play or YouTube Music or whatever, and I was listening to it, and I was like, fuck, this is a really fucking good record. Good stuff. I'm gonna try and get Dizzy on the show.
All right.
That's worth talking about.
What does Dizzy do on the record? Does he sing, or does he just play the keyboards, or is it all? Does he do all of the above, or what is it?
He sings and plays keys.
Okay.
And then he has a band, and apparently there's a bunch of former Guns N' Roses players that play on it and stuff. But it's a good record, man, start to finish. 2 thumbs up from me. That's all my right. Review.
That's your trunk review.
And that's my trunk review.
Excellent.
So yeah. So anything going on? You've been busy, or you just been working?
Nah, just working. Nothing too spectacular this week. Just working home. And I tell you what, one of the things that I know I talked about this a little bit last week, but I've been slowly but surely getting through the Ken Burns Vietnam series.
Yeah.
Man, that is a long series. Each episode is like an hour and 40 minutes.
Yeah, it's a little much.
It is much, but boy, I'm learning a lot of stuff. Of course, I didn't know what was going on then, but I didn't realize I did, but I didn't know to the extent of how long that Vietnam conflict was going on. That thing started back in the 50s.
Yeah.
And it worked its way up into the 60s, into the Kennedy administration. But I think the thing that is stunning to hear today, and I know there was a lot of trepidation among people when the war was going on, were these recorded phone calls with President Johnson.
Yeah,
basically saying that this is pointless. I don't know why we're going to do this. I don't know why we're staying in it, because there's no way of winning this.
Right.
And they just continued sending troops over there.
And his generals were like, fuck that, pal. Get them out there. Put some more asses out here to be shot.
And basically what it boiled down to is they didn't want to back out of the war and walk away as a loser.
Yeah.
So they'd rather just, sacrifice lives just to save face.
Yeah, they slaughtered how many people's families in order to not look bad. And then they look bad anyway. Because then was it Nixon that finally ended that shit?
Yeah, Nixon finally got out of it. It wasn't defeat. It was something. Walk away with honor or something like that.
Which was bullshit. We just we couldn't win it.
Yeah, more or less.
Yeah.
But what I found interesting is that they interviewed so many people on both sides.
Sure.
And talked to them and gave their take on it. They even talked to, some people who were, part of the Viet Cong.
Right.
And what their objective was and why they were fighting the war. And, people who had family members from the U.S. in there.
Right.
And what they remember, or even guys who were actually in Vietnam.
Right.
And what I found really funny is that the guys from Vietnam, they always referred to them as being small and quick.
Right.
And they didn't want to be fighting side by side by the big Americans who are big and slow and aren't quick. The little brown men could really move fast. And they could move quickly when need be. And they didn't want to be next to a big white guy because they basically provided a target.
Right. Funny.
It's like, I appreciate your help and you coming over here to help us, but don't stand next to me.
Yeah.
Because some Viet Cong is going to, try to take a shot at you and they're going to hit me instead.
Right.
So I found a lot of the recollections there from the people who were involved to be extremely interesting. And, again, I was only born when this was all ramping up. Mm-hmm. So not knowing the full extent of this, it's a really good documentary. So it's on Netflix if you got the time, and I've been waiting through it through the weeks. It's my bedtime watching.
Right.
So I've been watching, probably half an episode each night.
Right.
Because it is a long documentary, and like I said, an hour and 40 minutes per episode. That's a lot of watching.
8 episodes or something.
It is.
Yeah, it's Ken Burns. He's the guy when it comes to documentaries. Everybody is secondary to him, but he goes like, I don't know. Did you ever watch the baseball one?
No.
The baseball one is another one that's like it's because he does one inning. He calls them innings, so he has 9 innings, and they're each like 2 hours long. It's a fucking forever watch of baseball, which I loved because I'm a baseball freak. But my God, 18 hours of history. That's a lot of history.
Well, I guess I got to take my hat off to people like him because it's so thorough.
Mm-hmm.
And I look at the credits because I often wonder where the funding for all this comes from and the archival footage and the amount of time it took to piece this thing together. I mean, to me, that's just amazing in itself.
It is.
Finding all that video footage,
mm-hmm.
it's crazy. And the thing that was even crazier is the on-the-ground footage that some photographer or videographer that was on the ground with the troops in Vietnam, they were filming all of it.
Right.
It was like the first reality TV show, but this was really dangerous shit. This wasn't like Survivor or something like this. This was the real thing.
Dude, photographers, I'll give them credit. Even now, photographers in wartime, they are some ballsy people because they have no weapons. And I'll be, having served in a war, I could tell you firsthand, we, the soldiers, made them know right away that, look, if something breaks out, we're going to fucking put you in front of us. We told them flat out, we will absolutely fucking save our lives by letting you get killed. We told them flat out, because, they're carrying a bunch of shit. First of all, they're just, they're easy to see. And anybody that's fighting you knows that the embeds are with you. So, we told them all the time, look, If something breaks out, we're throwing you out there, pal. Fuck you. Sorry. You can either fucking duck your head down or get the fuck out of here, because we will happily let you die.
Right.
We're not going to protect you. Fuck you, pal.
Yeah. So just for the technology alone and the availability of the footage and everything, that to me is amazing in itself.
Sure. What the fuck is Nathan?
That's Eddie Trunk jumping the shark.
That's right. Jumping the great white.
Yeah, he's jumping a great white.
What the hell?
Our fans are nutty.
Yep.
So anyway, that's been my week, more or less. Just fighting off the heat of the summertime. It's been hotter than hell.
Yeah, I'm sick of this.
It's been in the 90s.
Yeah, same here. It's fucking shitty. I was talking to my mom today. I'll see if you agree with this. I said to her, I think as we get older, we just get less tolerant of the heat. Because, dude, back in 20 years ago, it was nothing for me to be outside in a 95-degree day playing softball all fucking day.
Mm-hmm.
Now it's like I come out of my bedroom and the fucking house is hot. I'm like, fuck that. I'm staying in the room with the air conditioner on.
Well, I think what it is that we have got such, the air conditioning and the accommodations, the creature comforts, if you will, have advanced so far that we become acclimated to it.
Yeah.
Because did you grow up with air conditioning in your house when you were a kid?
Fuck no. I had those hand fans.
Yeah.
Whatever those were, those Chinese fans that they used to give you at the Chinese restaurant.
Right. Well, we didn't have AC in our house. Our AC was an open window and a fan.
Yeah. You'd be laying on a bed in your underwear just hoping not to stick to the fucking sheets.
Yep.
It's hot and awful, and your balls would stick to your leg and shit.
But, even in churches, we went to church, the church was hot, and, wherever you work, most places didn't have central air conditioning. But as things have progressed, I think that we've become declimatized.
Yeah, church was always the worst because not only was it 1,000,000 fucking degrees, but you had 100 people in it, and everybody was all dressed. So you had, I mean, if it was really hot, sometimes you wouldn't wear like the jacket, but at least the church that I went to, it was always shirt and tie.
Yeah, well, same here.
So shirt and tie and a jacket, and it's fucking 100 degrees in the church, and you're sitting there, and I can just remember just sitting there, and the fucking dickhead priest going, all right, we're going to do one more hymn after we've done like 3. And it's like, no, get us the fuck out of here. Okay, one more. And it's broken down into 18 parts.
Right.
Ugh, just kill me.
Yeah. But, I don't know if it's so much, you can't tolerate the heat as you get older, but I think it's just that, we're all used to having central air, working in offices or places that have it, and then we just don't deal with the heat the way we used to.
We definitely don't, because, it's like right now I have this little fan on me, and admittedly, it's not the best fan in the world, but when I was a kid, I would have killed for this fan. I would have thrown my brother out the upstairs window to steal his fan.
Right.
Just because this little thing would have been every bit of heaven that I would want. And now I'm sitting here going, man, oh man, what the fuck? And I'm like, man, I got to go get a bag of ice to sit on or something because it's fucking hot. And really, it's probably not that hot. It's probably about 80 degrees, 85 degrees maybe.
Sure.
Not that hot, but to me it feels like it's miserable.
Yeah. All right. Well, we are back here live on the Classic Metal Show. We got a lot of good stuff to talk about. Everybody's been contributing a ton of material.
Sure.
There's been a few things going on in the music world we'll talk about, and things in the world in general.
Right.
And I got a couple of bones to pick with our society as a whole tonight.
Oh, sure.
Because just some things happened this week that I am just like, what have we become?
Right. Well, You're watching it closer than me. I'm so happy that I don't watch this kind of shit because I had a perfectly good week without knowing anything about what's going on. I don't know what's going on with this guy that's being investigated or whatever, the FBI guy or whatever, other than he looks kind of weird.
Yeah, he's a weasel.
And I don't know what Trump did this week. All I did was I had a great week.
Now, what Trump did this week. He embarrassed CNN once again.
Yeah, he did do that. But dude, it's like by not watching the news, it's like I went shooting on Monday. I had a great fucking time. Just went, shot out some guns, shot the 357, shot the fucking judge. First time in a while shooting the judge. Oh, man, it was just a lot of fun. And work was real good this week. And then I scored the babies gig for for their web and social media today.
I did not know that.
It just happened today.
Okay.
But, so I'm going to be doing their stuff, which, as much as I'm sure people are like, oh, the babies, big fucking deal. For me as a kid, I loved that band. So for me to actually be involved with that, it's just like when I got the Dokken gig.
Right.
As a kid, I've told this story a bunch of times on the show about one of the first metal shows I ever saw was Twisted Sister and Dokken at Coliseum in '84. And then to go from that point to where I actually worked with Dokken for, 10 years or whatever?
Yeah, pretty much.
It was just like thrilling to me. It's just the continuation of this whole getting indoctrinated into the music that I grew up on. And now this thing with the babies, it's like, look at that. I'm fucking working with the babies. That's fucking the coolest.
Yeah, I would say so.
It's just fun. I'm having fun again.
Well, that's what it's all about. Let's have some fun. And that's why everybody's tuned in tonight, because they want to have some fun.
Well, I've got stuff too, which is shocking, but I have 2-3 topics myself to deliver to the show.
Look at you.
And you know what I want to do, since we're getting ready to go to a break? I'm going to send you an email with a song that I want to dissect as soon as we come out of the break.
All right.
I've been holding it all week, or not all week, for a couple of days, I guess. But I'll explain what it is once we come back. How's that?
Well, that works for me.
But it'll be fun.
All right. Well,
and wait, I got one other piece of news.
Yes.
My fucking Iron Maiden pinball machine.
Oh yeah, I was going to ask you about that.
Yeah, $9,000 worth of pinball machine has arrived, and it's going live on the Pinball PA floor next Saturday.
$9,000, huh?
Yes, sir.
Well, Nathan in Kentucky's got your fan in the chat room.
Let me see. Where's the chat room? That was pretty much me as a kid.
Right. Chris going to church.
Yep, exactly. Well, in Korea, I ain't gonna lie, I had that robe, only it was black. But I wore that robe. I was all in on the Korean culture. Why not? Easy access for the whores I was banging.
There you go.
It was too good, but yeah, no, the Iron Maiden pinball is in. Literally, if you've heard my desk rumbling, it's me getting texts, a video of them testing it out tonight. So
nice.
So we're getting it ready and doing the big launch on Saturday, and it's the premium edition. It's the highest top of the line machine that they make, and it's the first totally new, brand new machine that we have bought, since we opened. So it's kind of exciting. A lot of people are excited about it because it's getting
sure they are.
It's getting tremendous reviews. Is that it's this great game. So I'm pretty excited to see how people are gonna adapt to it. I might even take the drive myself next Saturday out to Pittsburgh for a little while to go play it.
Wow, that's big news. Chris leaving the house.
Yeah, $9,000. I should fucking put my hands on it.
There you go.
Don't you think?
I would agree.
It's one thing. It'd be like you buying your car and never driving it. Just having people telling you, "Oh, your car is great. It rides really smooth." I might actually have to venture and give it a try.
Excellent. All right, well, let's play a couple of tunes. We'll come back and we'll get into it. I have a CD here from Chris McCarville's band.
Okay.
Max Explosion.
Cool.
And I'm going to play a tune from it.
All right.
I'm going to play the title track from the Dirty Angels release. This is Max Explosion exclusively here
On your classic metal show.